Welcome in once again, guys. We're here to feed that Yu-Gi-Oh cardboard addiction, guys. You guys already know. With my man's, that's my guy, Rogue Hero is in the building again, man.
What up, peoples?
Let him know, Rogue. Let him know. Welcome in, man. We're going to talk about, the meta, the OCG heading into Nats, man. This is the biggest, and best time of the year, my humble opinion. Of course, you had a video that we're going to talk about right now with the state of Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually heading into the biggest event of the year. There's a lot of mixed emotions right now. A lot of prices are getting destroyed, crashing down for sealed product, things of that nature. So it's going to be a jam-packed episode. You want to subscribe. First link in the description down below. Come over here to Rogue Hero. Make sure you hit that destroy that sub button. You guys already know. Make sure you check out this video. It was fire. And on that note, talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG prices are tanking. Last week, we were talking about these sealed boxes, these products, just getting destroyed. Man, this is a weekend later, just 1 week. We're not even a week in. And boxes are $45. They're lower than when we were talking about them last week. This is insane. And there's meta relevant cards, that come in here like we discussed last week. Holly Sue, let me see if I pulled it up here. Yeah, so we have Holly Sue. Yeah, it's 30 bones. You do have the Starlights up there. We have Art Mages, which we're gonna touch base on, and you have new Lunalight cards that is crashing down as well. So it's like, where's the value? We have Kaiba Man the Legend. He's 5 bones already. It's crazy. Primite stuff is getting destroyed as well. So a lot of lost value, when it comes to singles. So people look at a set like this, it's like, why even bother? Why buy a case? Why buy a box if the value that I can pull? It's hard to pull what is value already. So it means that most likely, just based on pull rates, you're gonna pull, trash. So you're gonna not have value. So again, you made a great point in your video talking about Duelist Advanced, but we also have sets like Battles of Legend, Monster Mayhem. This is a reprint set, guys, that usually these reprints says this $60-$70 a box, having great reprints that everyone was waiting for. Again, they didn't reprint Bistios, they didn't reprint Castira, they didn't reprint Chaos Angel. That's what a set like this should have had, in my humble opinion, for it to retain value. And then we have Alliance Insight as well. These boxes are 38 bones. There's just no value in these sets. But before I keep going, welcome in, shout out to the community, to the Rogue Hero community. Just give them some words before we get into the content here. What do you think about the situation going on right now?
Man, so first of all, thanks for having me back on.
Sure.
Secondly, it is crazy to see that boxes are this dirt cheap. I don't think any other card game has this issue, even card games that are not as popular as Yu-Gi-Oh! I could be wrong. Correct me in the comment section down below. However, with that being said, I think we're entering in an era where people are just fed up with buying product. And that's not to say the game is dying, like I said in my video, because I do believe it's on a slow decline until we start getting more younger players in the game. However, I think it's just due to the fact that a lot of people are just like, if a set doesn't have staples, there's no point of investing to the set. So the set naturally is going to drop down. I think it's just the way sets are designed. There was no new archetypes in the current set from what I was told by a lot of my fans who watched my videos. So with that being said, that makes sense on why people really aren't investing in a set, because it's only a set for players who are legacy support players, people who have Vanquish Soul, people who might want to play Rizio, people who play Sky Striker. But if you aren't fans of those archetypes, you don't really care. A majority of your players are casual, they're not competitive. So not a surprise that this set is dropping.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this, like I said in my video, if and when Konami ever decides to do block format, they will not have this issue. Now, there's a big thing in the community where most of the community, I'm gonna say like 70% of the community do not want block format. Then there's that small 30%, most of them silent, that want block format. And for you guys that don't know what block format is, block format is like what they do in Magic the Gathering and Pokemon, where beginning of every season or year, they ban everything. They drop a core set of old stuff, not new stuff, obviously, a core set with old reprints and stuff that's pretty much legal for the new meta they're going to develop for the new block. And then alongside the new set that comes out, so essentially it'll be like our Battles of Legends set will be our core set because it has a lot of reprints.
Right.
Then let's say Duelist Advanced would be the new set with all the new archetypes. We would all buy Duelist Advanced to build our decks from Duelist Advanced and coincide with the stuff we get from our core set. That's how we build our decks for the format. And then every time a new set drop, it incentivizes us, which is good for Konami, bad for people who want to be on a budget. But most people on a budget really aren't playing the game.
Yeah, they're not
super
competing.
competitively anyway.
Right. That's a good point.
But when you go that route, essentially, just to kind of you invest into new archetypes and sets retain value because you never know what card might be a new staple for that block. I think honestly they would have to print it so cards are easier to get. They just have to restructure everything, but they won't have this issue. But I think it just goes to show you how poor their set design is and the state of the game as far as people like. What's the point of buying a set as a competitive player when there's no staples in that set? And all the supporters for legacy decks that's not really anime decks, so you don't really get the anime crowd because Yu-Gi-Oh is a competitive player's game.
That's a great point, man. That's a great point. I mean, I make the suggestion, but no one. Who am I, right? I mean, give us a Trinity format. Give us, Dark Magician, Blue Eyes, and Red Eyes, but truly competitive. Not these willy-nilly support that no one cares about.
Right.
No. I mean, like, truly, like, at YCS is like actual great cards, like mechanics-wise, like consistency-wise, like just great artwork-wise. Like, just give us at least once. It's not like they could sustain that, year after year after year. But bring that back, man. Refresh Yu-Gi-Oh! Give us a Trinity format with anime cards. Like Yubel was a great example. Yubel was great. When they brought Yubel and it was meta, that was cool, man. Seeing Yubel cards, being slapped in YCSs there. People loved the deck. It was truly competitive. So, they got
the spirit out of people.
Yeah, exactly. They tried that with Exodia. It really didn't pan out. They gave the new Exodia support and still, more support is coming for that deck archetype. But just go back, not just all new cards and all these new deck cores and stuff like that. That's all good and well. But also just have a moment or at least a format. Just a 2 to 3 month format at the very least. Give us a Trinity format, at least 2 of the 3 or whatever. Like Yubel was a perfect example of what they should do moving forward in the short to mid-term. But that's just my humble opinion. I mean, like Rogue said, it's crazy to see these prices, sub $50 boxes, including reprint sets, guys. And as you can see, there is kind of, sort of value in here if you pull the high end, which you probably won't from your boxes. That's to be real, just based on pull rates. Right. Or you would have to buy multiple boxes. So when you come, and realize what you actually pulled from these sets, you're probably negative. You're probably on the next side. So it's unfortunate. We'll see. Again, we're going to talk about what we believe can save the day here when it comes to this. But right now, things are not looking good when it comes to these core sets, even though they do have value and future potential based on future meta formats. But we love getting that discussion on for the community. And I definitely agree with Rogue on that. Guys, first link in the description down below. We're going to be covering some cards just in case if you need to get exposure to some of these. Make sure you fast track each and every single card that we're talking about today. We're going to have this ready for you as we open up some tabs of cards that we will be discussing just in case if you want to purchase any of those. We are giving away triple Primite Lordly Loads, triple Drill Beams right there, and also No Punk Rising Scale Starlight Rare right here for one lucky winner at 9.75k, so you don't want to miss out. Make sure you join the Discord and be ready for when the post goes up. And again, shout out to Rogue Hero. He opened his new Discord, guys, so go to his channel. Make sure you comment. Yeah, let him know where how can they join up. You have a link.
Go to my channel, subscribe to the channel first, obviously support. Join if you love me, but there's a link in my channel description that says Discord. Click it and check it out. It's a cool vibe. I'm building a good, fun environment. I want it to be a positive environment. We have Deck Doctor. We got a page for people who are into dating. We have a Beyblade X page as well. I went to Beyblade X. So
there you go.
If you guys want men's mental health advice, or just if you feel comfortable, you can make a fake account, join the page, and ask a dating question. I'm here to help you, and
why not?
Pretty sure all the other guys in there are here to help you as well. So it's really just like a cool little clubhouse for Yu-Gi-Oh nerds. That's more than just Yu-Gi-Oh. So check it out.
Love it. There we go. As you can see the server right here, man. Hey, love it. Covering all bases in life, mainly Yu-Gi-Oh, obviously, which is the passion that we share for. But yeah, make sure you tune in, man. Right there. Link in his description of his channel and his videos. You don't want to miss out. So make sure you come in our Discords, guys, and participate in that giveaway. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you ring that bell and subscribe on the way in, as we are on our way to 9.75k for that giveaway and eventually to 10k. And it's all thanks to you guys. Really do appreciate it. And then we do have our X giveaway as well, man. All these members just sending me cards to give away back to the community. They're amazing. And we will be selecting this tomorrow. So this is your last chance essentially to tune in and participate. Link in the description down below. Come over here on X, man. Just a day left, so you don't want to miss out. So again, when it comes to Justice Hunter, Hunters. This is, I believe, in my humble opinion, the saving grace of Yu-Gi-Oh right now. We're getting 3 main is Draco Tails, Vanquish Soul via K9, so really is K9, Draco Tails, and what else? I think those are the 2 main ones. Oh, Yummy again. So again, 3 main new deck cores that will directly and immediately impact the meta. Again, these boxes were 66 bones. We were saying, guys, pick these boxes up at 66. I actually picked up 4 boxes. We'll probably give 1 away and open 3 on the channel, so stay tuned for that. You want to be subscribed, so because again, 66s were great, and now these boxes are going up in price. You have a couple here at 75s, then they quickly go up into the 80s and eventually 90s. So 16 listings only. So these are the ones, guys. These are the ones, that are actually going up in price. Why? Because people are excited. People want to play Yummies, the new Link deck. People want to play Vanquish Soul, but not alone. They want to play it with K9. And then you have Draco Tails, pitch a card, fusion summon. Yu-Gi-Oh players love fusion summoning. So again, just because these sets haven't been panning out and they're not performing, we do have something to look forward to. This is, I believe, is a saving grace, this set that everyone is looking forward to. And we're going to discuss, cards that we should be looking at, what's coming in here and things of that nature. So definitely, let's keep that in mind. And before we actually move to the reports and actually seeing the cards, Rogue Hero, again, made a fire video. You guys need to tune in. Almost 5K views for a reason. So based off this video, I want you to let us know, what is your thought process with Justice Hunters? Is this the saving grace? Could this save, the price tanking going on and just people losing interest heading into Nats? So is this the saving grace for post-Nat season? What is your thought process?
I think it'll be a small term saving grace because there's 3 new archetypes, Draco Tail, Yummy, K9, and of course you need to have your support from the Duel's Advance to support the K9 deck, so that box might go up a little bit because of the Holly Sue. But people are already complaining online about how busted the K9 Vanquish Soul deck is. That's supposed to be, they say it's Borderlands Tier 0.
Oh man,
the saving grace will be, in my opinion, depending on how much. That's like a split set. So if Konami decides to give that new RB deck some support in Justice Hunters, maybe, probably not. That's probably unrealistic. But RB being in the meta might change things up a little bit. Miss Rugi being in the meta might change things up a little bit. A lot of the top players are saying that K9 Vanquish Soul is gonna be another Tier 0 deck that plays on turn 0. So
that's crazy.
It's gonna be a little dumb because that deck doesn't really care about hand traps from what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
So I think people are gonna be happy just to play something new.
Yeah,
because Yummy is a new archetype that everyone loves.
Yeah,
but eventually, let's say about a month or 2 down the line,
okay,
it'll be the same old. This game is dumb.
Tier
I
0,
hate it. But I don't think the set is gonna go out because of the competitive players run the market. So the set will probably stay around 75, maybe drop to 65 after it's been out a while. But I don't think it hit the low numbers because it's a new archetype of decks that everyone's gonna want. I think everyone. It kind of goes back to my old point about block form. I think everyone's kind of used to just buying whatever new deck is hot and going from there. Because the biggest argument against, like I said, block format, I don't know if you're for it or against it. The biggest argument was people want to play their old decks. And my argument is you're already forced to play the new decks anyway. Why not get rid of all the old potential broken cards and have us use these newer decks with unique trap cards and spell cards from the new sets that we can play instead of using the same old boring set with like Ash Blossom, things like that.
Right. No, it's an interesting take. I mean, I don't know if they should try it as something separate first and then maybe implement it, because we Yu-Gi-Oh players, I mean, we're just used to, how we roll per se, but then we're always complaining sometimes to a certain extent. So I guess there'll never be a perfect format or way of doing things, but they can always be better and get better. So I agree with you.
And the reason why I keep harping on it is just because I had it when I played Naruto.
Interesting.
And Naruto lost a lot of players because of block format. But I will say it fixed a lot of the issues. So like, I'm not talking out of my ass. I'm actually experienced with another card game. Just want to throw that little tidbit out there. Like, I think it's really good. It promotes healthy card design.
Yeah. No, I mean, it might get to a point where they need to try something different. You know what I mean? So that's definitely a great take. And how about Heroes? When Heroes come out later this year? Will that be a longer term saving grace, having the hero community get their new support, maybe actually compete in the meta by then as the meta shifts? What about Heroes? What do you think about, you being Rogue Hero? We discussed a lot of hero cards last week. Do you think Heroes could be potentially with the new support part of the saving grace for Yu-Gi-Oh as well?
I mean, of course, yeah. I mean, it's an anime deck for one. So the hero community is crazy. Like a lot of these guys, they want everything high rarity, top dollar. Because a lot of these dudes are Jaden Yuki fanboys. So, outside of the fanboy, it's just it's character deck. It's cool cards. They have crazy card design. Nice artwork. It's nostalgic, and nostalgia, just like with Blue Eyes, it creates memories for people and it brings things back, which is why people get hyped for these new decks.
Yeah. That's a great point. Hopefully heroes.
It definitely add a little. I didn't mean to cut you off, but it definitely added like a little mini renaissance and
right.
I don't think when I bring up Yu-Gi-Oh potentially dying or slowing down, I'm more of I see the decline.
Right.
If you don't get any young blood in the game, it's a decline. Whether if it happens 5 years from now or 10 years from now.
Right. We can't control when. But yeah, you're just looking into the future and having that vision. And yeah, this is part of what I was saying, nostalgia. I mentioned Red Eyes, Blue Eyes, and DM, but Heroes is a perfect example. Yubel was before, now Heroes again. Like I think, Konami should focus on bringing more of this to the forefront of the meta, and have people compete with decks they love, with cards they love, man, with artwork that they love, that they enjoy, not just some random new card that they really feel no connection or attachment to, but they have to play it because it's the best deck, the best deck type of thing.
Like even Odeon too. Like Odeon was a good deck because it was an anime deck.
Actually that's the deck I play. I play Kashtira Odeon, not competitively obviously, but when I go to locals, small locals, 8-10 people, I play Odeon, and that's the deck I like. I love trap decks, but I think that it needs more support, and that'd be pretty cool. If sometime down the line it would get more support. But yeah, just touching base on the nostalgia. I think that's what Konami, as we conclude and move on, to talking more about the meta, Konami should focus more on nostalgia. But not just nostalgia bait, like, oh, you're reprinting old cards and there's new rarity. No, we're talking about competition, meta relevancy. Yubel coming out of nowhere, topping. YCS is taking over events. That's, Heroes. Hopefully with the new support, we'll see how good or how it pans out. Hopefully they come to the forefront and make some waves, and just keep touching base with the nostalgia. And then you combine. You have the new against the old, but the old with the new support, you know what I mean? And then just go from there.
They got Dark Magician went out too. So
yeah, that's what we need. You see?
They really need to, honestly, I don't know when they're going to release the tactical try stuff, but they really need to, in my opinion too, like another issue Yu-Gi-Oh has is just, and this is not just Yu-Gi-Oh, this is most card games for the most part.
Right.
It's just the difference between, it's like OCG and TCG. I forgot what other card games do it. I know Yu-Gi-Oh's not the only one, but I think if we combine OCG and TCG, have us run under one uniform format and have uniform set releases, that'll fix a lot of issues as well. But the reason why, at least this is what I believe, the reason why the Japanese don't want people to do that is because they know Americans will buy up every fucking thing.
Right.
And then they won't be able to, their people will be unhappy because they can't afford, because Japanese wages are way lower than American wages.
Right. Different markets.
You can live in a one bedroom for like $300.
Right. Different economy for
Completely
sure.
different economy. So they kind of do it on purpose to help their people out, which I respect.
But I get what you mean. Like competitively speaking, like it would be amazing to combine both worlds and just have the same set release. That's a good take, and it causes for discussions and people. No, you should leave it the same. No, yes, we should change it and just combine it. And they try and do it for Worlds. So Worlds is always weird when they combine both balance and things of that nature. But yeah, it's always good to just have these discussions, see what the community thinks, and at the end of the day, it's just all trying, we're all here trying for the betterment of the community, and to just always make things better, as good as we can, try to do so. So, So I mean, moving on to the meta again, the latest OCG report here, we see that Vanquish Soul, like Rogue said, this is what we should be expecting for the next couple of months post Nats. Vanquish Soul Canine continues to dominate the OCG meta. Of course, like we always say, in the OCG, they don't have Mitsubudis, they don't have what else? They don't have a couple of deck cores that we have here and that will continue.
Their Fame engine is also tampered as well.
Great point. Here's full power over there. They're already, engraved, I think, is at one, things of that nature. So, and we'll see the upcoming ban list too, what it decides to do. That's going to be a very key time, that could shift a lot of things around the ban list, not just these, set releases like Justice Hunters, but what ban list comes with it. That's going to be key, and definitely a discussion for another day that we'll, definitely have down the line. But yeah, I mean, Yummies is actually a close second. We're finally seeing Yummy, being kind of, at the same level than Vanquish Soul here at around 20%. And you have Draco Tail at 13%, and then Malice crazily, you know, is still at 4th here, top 5 still after all this time. Malice is still competing over there in the OCG, just a percentage, close to a percentage below to Draco Tails. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to the breakdown, we have Vanquish Soul. Again, a lot of people is expecting this deck to dominate the upcoming format post Nats. And as we can see here, I mean, there's not too many crazy changes here from our previous discussions. I mean, the deck continues to perform, continues to top and win events over there in the OCG. So when we look at a deck like this, I mean, there's not really too much to cover. I mean, we've been covering most of these cards already, but just wanted to touch base. I mean, here we see Holly Suez at around 30 bones. We've been telling people at around 100 a play set is fine. Sure, it could go down to 25s, maybe even 20s in a crazy day, but we'll see. We have Heavy Burger at around 16s. Soul Raisin were 16s and now they're 30s. So again, this deck is becoming extremely expensive because of the meta relevancy. So I mean, what do you think about, you mentioned it lightly, but about these prices? Maybe like as a competitive Yu-Gi-Oh player, let's say you know Ryzio had his heyday, yeah, there's the on the map version, but you're like, yo, post Nats, I want the best deck. It's Vanquish Soul K9. You don't just need cards that come out in Justice Hunters, but you need these crazily priced cards that are here. As a competitive player, is this something that motivates you? How do you feel about having to shed almost $100 post-tax just for triple raisins, and then you have to stake your soul here and pay $100 plus tax for the you know, I'm sorry, my bad, there's not even 3 here at 30s, my bad. Where's the play set? 40 bone, that's 120, man. Hey, you had 220 plus tax, bro. That's just 6 cards, bro. Wait, let's keep going, man. Holly Suit, that's 100 plus, hey, that's 320 right there, 9 cards, and it's a 40 card.
And don't let you don't have staples.
Whoa, we need staples too, man. Take over, bro. Let's hear it, bro. What do you think about that? Let's hear it.
You know, if I was a less, what's the word I'm looking for? Less financially savvy Yu-Gi-Oh player that was young and was really hungry for success.
Hungry, yeah.
I would pay these numbers, and then from a Yu-Gi-Oh player standpoint, 30 for an Ultra, 90 for the play set is kind of normal.
Okay.
But being realistic as an adult, because I've always been kind of a cheap card player, like, if a deck costs more than a couple $100, I don't want to play it. That's just me personally. Like I'm not rich. Not to say that people, you gotta be rich to play these decks.
Right.
I would have picked up on a deck early when it was cheap and got stuff before I got to these prices. Me personally, would I play for this shit right now? Hell no. Only because I think it's really expensive.
It is, bro. It is.
A lot of us players, we just invested like a couple $100, maybe some of us close to $1,000 for Ryzios with all of the Montgomery staples last year. Now we got to invest like another $400 to $500, damn near to $1,000 for a deck. We're not even guaranteed to win. So me personally, no, but I know there's a lot. But I'm a unique individual. Most people who are really competitive, they're gonna pay these prices. They're gonna like whatever. How much is it? 500. Put it on the credit card. I pay it back.
Yeah. We'll deal with that later. Let me play the best deck. That's a good point. I mean, but it's crazy when you see this deck list here. Look, triple heavy burgers. That's 50 piece. This is a hundo, and these are 18s. I think it was that I saw. Look at that. They're 1820. So that's another 50. So when it adds up, and that's without the K9, man. So it is. We're living in crazy times, man. But yeah, if you want to play the best, it's pay to win. There's nothing new, and I just wanted to highlight that these cards just keep continuing going up.
I wouldn't say it's pay to win.
Okay.
It's ton players with the best deck. They just suck with it. I'm proof of that. When I first started playing Mitsu Raizu, I was ass with the deck. Now I'm better.
Right. I get what you mean. So it's not just having access to the cardboard, but obviously the pilot. But yeah. I mean, just having to pay it deep down. If you want to compete, you want to play the best deck, this is it right here. There's no way around it. Yeah, of course, we can play different decks. We can still go to an event, locals, even regionals, maybe even a YCS if it's your heyday, and you can, top and do well with other decks. But we're talking about consistency, what's expected of the meta in the next 2 to 3 months, guys, post that. So, definitely here you go. And then we move on to Yummy. A lot of people have high expectations when it comes to Yummy. A lot of people really like this artwork. They're looking forward to being able to play Yummy and to pick up these cards. And when we come here, we do see a couple engages, a couple cards here when it comes to this, Sky Striker Yummies or, some pure versions out there. But again, Purges at 3 right here. That's a key pointer that I wanted to make today. And then we have Herald as well down here and just a couple more cards that people need need to keep in mind. So again, Herald, we've always been a proponent of people picking up, you know, this Synchro Monster right here. You have the quarter centuries at 23s. We told people to pick those up in the teens. And lately we told people to pick it up at around the 20 piece. It was consolidating here. No one paid attention to this card. And you come in today and it's pushing up to 30s right here already. And honestly, guys, you need to understand that people play multiples. It's 2 Heralds. The card is broken. They can make this consistently. And this could be a 40 to 50 piece Wings from Wingstop, and no one would be surprised. Yeah. So again, when you see card prices going up for the quarter century, we do have cheaper options. But look, even the secret rare is going up. We talked about this like at 50 cents, man, when no one cared about it. Look at this volume candle, hundreds of Yu-Gi-Oh players coming in, getting ready for Yummy. You have a couple one-ofs, but the walls are where? Look at that, non-existent at 250s already. The card is up 5x from the low, so that means people are rushing in to build the Yummies. So what do you think about Herald seeing it at 2? How broken the card is for Yummies? What do you think about this one?
Herald is a good card. So any synchro that can run Herald, they definitely gonna run Herald and run it well. As a player who are starting to appreciate the prettier cards, I think. All right. No, the $23 for the this quarter century, not a bad deal. I can see it going to 40s easily once the deck starts topping. It's just gonna be really interesting to see how good Yummy is gonna be in a TCG, because everyone's like, because when Vanquish Soul first got popular in the OCG, I don't really remember seeing, I could be wrong, but I don't really remember seeing a lot of people doing it with the K9 stuff. It's just like something players figured out over their span of the metagame. Right. So since we already got the sauce from the OCG, how different are the Yummy deck builders going to be in the TCG to counteract that? Like, will we see Yummy Mitsurugi? Miss Rugi is very splashable. Will we see Yummy Mitsurugi Fiendsmith? Like, the sky's the limit. So I think ultimately, though, just to answer your question directly without getting sidetracked, yeah, it's a good card. Like, I'm not surprised it's going up. Even a quarter century is kind of not bad for like a premium rarity of it. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it is going up a tad bit, but what Rogue is saying, which I agree, compared to future prices, these might still be a deal, especially if you can get these locally or crack a deal in person. Definitely one to keep in mind. We have Dominus Purge. Talked about this card a couple of days ago. You know, it's been going up in price. As we can see, the secret rares, I mean, it says 42s, but if you click on it, it's non-existent. So it's really pushing a 50 piece here. The card was 30s not too long ago, and now it's 50s heading into Nats. People need it. People see, oh my God, Yummies play 3. I need it. I still think the card gets reprinted in this year's tins, but until that moment when we know for sure, Yu-Gi-Oh players are getting exposure to this card, and this is a staple. People need it, you know, at 3s. You know how good the card is, Rogue. So seeing it, you know, with Yummy, just what is your thought process seeing this card recover in price like this before Nats? Man, I'm not surprised. The card's really good. Blue Eyes plays it as well. So one of those cards that it's just gonna be good to have. Like, I think if I had a playset, I would definitely put it in my non-trading binder. Like, if you can get a playset, just get a playset and sit on it. Like, you can be like me and wait for the 10s. However, if you got the money to get them, just get them. Right. Just have them. Yeah, from here to September. You're gonna be changing your decks. You're gonna be changing your decks a lot. You don't know what deck it might be good in. Yeah. Same thing goes for the Dominus Impulse as well. Yeah, the both Dominus cards again. I mean, like Rogue just said, you know, from here to September, if you need them, don't let this become 55, 60s go crazy on you. If you really needed to play, you're going to Nats or even post Nats, you know, up all the way until September, even post Justice Hunters until the 10 reprints. This card might see higher prices before a possible announcement. And honestly, I'd be, you know, a 2x increase for the quarter century secret rare. You might as well get the max rarity. It is a 2x price increase, so you have to pay double, but that is not that bad when you consider that it has been retracing down, and this is the max rarity that will retain more value regardless. So definitely, you know, you guys can make those considerations. And then we do have Link Spider. You know, you do see it here at 1, so nothing too crazy, but definitely don't forget that we do have only 5 prints ever of this card. You have an OT at around 25s, and you have quarter century secret rares right here. So what do you think about this quarter century? Look at that, it's going up here. As you can see, the card is around 3s. You do have a massive wall of China. I can see this card cheap. Yeah, I mean, I could see this being at least 5s, maybe even double digits one day, but at 3 bones is cheap, right? People should be picking it up. Oh, hell yeah. For 3, hell yeah. Like, I thought it was $10, but I thought $10 was like a fair price. You see? Like, honestly, even depends on how good Yummy is, it's gonna be 20. It's quarter century. Like, me personally, when you pulled a page up, I saw the Alti one. The Alti one's kind of cheap too, low-key. Yeah, it's 25 bones as we pull it up here. You know, well, 20. Look at it. 20, 21 bucks. That's cheap. Quickly goes to 30. I feel like, I say get those Altis, honestly. They're pretty. If you want like the highest rarity, the oldest one.
Yeah, I have it in person and it looks gorgeous. So yeah, $20. This is free money. This could easily be a 40 to 50 piece OT even and beyond, as people realize, oh, yo, I need Link Spider-Man. I want that OT. So again, definitely one to keep in mind. And only 5 prints. Even commons are 2 to 3s, and you know, so even the super rares around 2 to 3. So definitely keep this card in mind. And then we have Martial Metal Marcher, only 2 prints. As we can see here, but really the one that people will want is the 2018. This card is 7 years old, and this is the ultra rare. You know, you have a couple one-ofs, major walls, but at 3s now. What I've been telling people is to not let this card be 5s or beyond. As you can see the chart, it's continuing to go up. You know, it's crazy, Rogue, to see cards that were quarters, no one cared about them, become $3 overnight, essentially, just because of its meta relevancy. But yeah, what do you think about Martial Metal Marcher, a card from 2018?
Yeah, card seems to be a staple in most synchro decks. I say get it, collect them. It's cheap. Like, you know me, man. Like, my answers are gonna be, if it's cheap and it's for a deck you're gonna play, pick it up. Why? This is the time you pick the stuff up. You don't wait till the deck comes out. Then be like, oh man, Martial Metal Hunter is $10.
Yo.
I already just paid 20s for my OT Link Spider.
Yo,
like,
literally.
You snooze, you lose, man. That's the name of the game. You snooze, you lose. You got to get stuff when it's dirt cheap. Like, most cards nowadays, like, under $5 is a good deal. I think under $5 for anything is a good deal, unless it's like a common, like, piece of crap card. But even then, it's like, even if it's a common, under $5, you're having a good time. So with that being said, man, I say pick it up. If you're gonna play this deck, pick it up. If you're a Synchro fanatic, pick it up. It's cheap. Add it to your collection. Have your non-trading binder, and you should be good to go.
Yeah, Rogue kept it simple. And look, it's hard for Yu-Gi-Oh players to see a card at under 50 cents down here. And then once the card is consolidating up here at $2, they're like, oh man, I missed out at a quarter and I'm buying 10x. What they don't know is that it can keep going up. It can keep going up and up and up and up and even more up. And then once the card is 5s, 10s, then they're like, man, I should have bought at 250. So they actually dwell on the fact that they missed these lows down here, but they don't understand that the price can go higher from these current prices. And that's what we're talking about. When Rogue says it's cheap, this was truly cheap, but who cares? We missed, you know, if you didn't come in there at those prices, then this could be cheap compared to future prices. You don't want to be that guy paying a premium from these current prices at higher prices. Just, hey, if you need it especially to play, get exposure, listen to Rogue. And then we have Sky Strikers, you know, getting recent support, nothing too crazy. Ace Zero here is 15 bones. The card is crashing down. But yeah, we do see a couple of Sky Striker cards with Yummy here. We see Kagari, and then we see Engages right there. And then this Link Monster as well. So yeah, what do you think about the combination? Seeing an old deck like Sky Striker maybe being played, you know, as Link Monsters with Yummy. Do you like that combination to see Sky Strikers make a comeback with Yummy?
Yeah, a lot of players use the Sky Striker engine to go engage, search the Hornet Drones. Hornet Drones make the Link Monster just to get a free body on board. So that's used even in decks outside of Yummy. So I won't be surprised if one day that engine gets hit, because like a free body is still a free body that doesn't burn your normal summon. But nowadays it's kind of like we've power crept to the point where that doesn't matter.
Right.
And I think it's pretty cool, honestly. I think 50 cent engage, like that's cheap. That's really cheap. So yeah, I can definitely Sky Striker as a whole, like all the support is really good. The deck as it's a solid road deck right now. I think I actually listed it. Yeah, I listed it in my video. My best road decks going in the Nats. I put Sky Striker on there because I played against it on Duel book, and it was a really interesting game. I think I lost, but yeah, it was a really interesting game. That deck, it's pretty hard to play, honestly.
Yeah,
once they set up, it's like almost impossible to beat.
Yeah,
like,
make sure you check them out. Check them out, man. Check Rogue's opinion on the deck right there. And I played against it at locals as well. And Ace Zero is broken with all those multiple effects. Widow Anchor is broken. I mean, they have a broken engine. So if they find a way to combine this broken engine with this new engine of Yummy's, then they could definitely make things happen. So you guys already know. So guys, again, we're half an hour in. Make sure you subscribe first. Link in the description down below. You want to tune in to Rogue Hero. These videos are fire. You get just a multitude of videos, guys. You know, playing the game, talking about the game, analyzing the game. You get recording himself, vlogs and stuff like that. I love it, man. I love it. You guys love it too. Make sure you click that first link in the description down below. Make sure you come over here, subscribe. You can't miss out. We do have as well in the description down below our link tree, Discord, X, $15 off, whatnot. Make sure you guys take advantage of that. and none of this content is official financial advice. It is for entertainment purposes only. So if you're getting entertained, make sure you subscribe, like the video, and ring that bell so that you can stay tuned for our fresh off the press content and participate in our channel giveaway. So now we have Draco Tail. I want to actually take a moment here because in my humble opinion, of course, I'm not in the competitive circles. You know, I'm not a competitive player, but I just have a feeling that people are not talking about this enough. I get it. When you analyze the OCG, you know, the percentages talk. We understand. Vanquish Soul, yummy. It is what it is. And it's remained like this, you know, for months. So we understand. But like Rogue said, in the TCG, we have other deck archetypes that are non-existent in the OCG, and you never know if they play Draco Tail Mitsubuti or if they play Draco Tail with Fiendsmith or this or that and the third. So again, I believe this is basically under-talked, underrated. No one's paying attention to Draco Tail. When it first came out, a lot of people were looking forward to this. Yu-Gi-Oh players really enjoy fusion summoning, and honestly, I played against it on EDO Pro, and people were like, just pitching to fusion summon. I found that pretty cool, you know, dumping Shadal Beast and drawing and all this stuff. So honestly, like personally, not because it is the best deck, because it's not based on percentages as we see here, but out of these three, the one that I'm more interested in is actually Draco Tail. You know, when I saw that you can actually fusion summon by pitching a card, my mind was like, you know, just how easily you can fusion summon and go into these combos. So, you know, we're going to discuss a couple of these cards because I believe a lot of people are sleeping in the, you know, on this deck. So again, we're going to start with Shadal Wind. This card is broken. This card always cycles in and out of the meta. I'm not hearing anyone talking about Shadal Wind right now, and it tends to happen time and time again. It tends to happen time and time again that we pull up cards that no one's talking about right now. You know why? Because me and Rogue Hero, we've identified right here Shadal Wind as a one-of right there, as a one-of for Draco Tails. No one is talking about this card right now. So you come to Winda and you see, oh, it got a rarity. You know, it came in Stampede. It has an alternate art. Just $5, man. $5 quarter-century secret rares. Look at that, Rogue. $5 right there. You can pick your choosing. You could choose either an alternate art or the OG.
Like those prices.
Beautiful, man. Penny stars. Look at that.
One of each at that price.
That's it. Yo, 10 bones equals one of it. Why not, man? You have PURs and PCRs cheap right here at shekels, man. Pennies on the dollar. You have clean secret rares at quarters. You have platinum secret rares at under $1. No one is paying attention to that. So what do? You get what we call exposure. You come in here, you buy $5 worth of the shekels, one a couple playsets of this one, of that, this, that, and the third, and then you buy maybe one of each or playsets of each if you don't mind spending 30 bones. I mean, I believe is a great time to get exposure because Rogue, as a competitive player, how many times have you faced Winda and you're like, bro, yeah, GG's, man. There's just nothing I can do. So let's hear it, man. What do you think about Draco Tails and Winda here as we go on to the other cards? But this card, what do you think about seeing it here and just maybe Draco Tails as a whole, just taking a quick look at this deck profile and this new deck archetype that no one is really talking about as much right now?
I think it's one of those decks that's going to go under the radar until people start topping regionals with it. It's definitely getting underappreciated because of like K9, Vanquish Soul. And it's crazy because like even like when I say when everything first came out, people weren't really on K9 or Vanquish Soul like that. They were more on Yummy and Draco Tail. But once the OCG like hit those together and started dominating, that's when everyone started D-riding those decks. So yeah, I agree with you 100%, man. Like Window's a good card for the deck archetype, and then on top of it, I think it's gonna be a good deck in general. If you ain't got your Little Knights, get you a Little Knight. I see they run one of, and get your that one XYZ monster in the bottom left. I can't think of his name right now.
I think it's Light and Dragon XZ or something like that. Like
it's a super rare. It's
cheap, it's a super rare. You're right.
I think honestly the deck's gonna be really good. Honestly, just based on what I'm seeing in the OCG. TCG players love Winda. It's a waifu, so
yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. And what do you think about that last time you faced Winda, man? How did you feel when you were looking at a Winda across the field, man? You know what I mean?
Made me wish I had a Forbidden Droplet.
You see? Hey, that's about it. Of course, there's always outs, but this card is broken. I've seen it win games by itself. Literally, people just fusion summon this and they win.
Scoop it up.
Yeah, game 2, game 3. So again, $5. Hey, Rogue Hero saying this is too cheap. This is a $5 bill right here, a pop essentially, guys. So get exposure. And you do have the alternative cheaper rarities, which I love as well. You have cheap prismatics here and cheap platinum secrets. So just get exposure now. You know, in the future, we might go into each and every single one of these and check like the actual prices. But for now, just wanted to highlight the card. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I'm calling it now. Both those quarter centuries going to be like at least 25, 30.
Okay,
easily.
Okay. Hey, damn, Rogue buyouts
I'm calling
again.
it right now.
Damn. Hey, when people,
I'm not even calling about like once Draco Tail. Give it like October. I guarantee those gonna be like at least 20, 25 bucks.
Okay. Yeah, we could see these be 20 bones, man. A 20-piece McNuggies from Mickey D's at the bare minimums, guys. So again, double digits around the corner. Investments like these, I love it here on the channel for my community because we're always looking for that 2x play. We keep it conservative. You put in 10 bucks, you want 20. You put in 5, you want 10, and just keep doing that and recycling your purchasing power. So again, this is a beautiful card that we wanted to highlight today. Just not just, oh, it looks cute. No, it's actual meta relevancy. If you sit on a window, you usually win the game. Yes, there's outs, there's you know, droplets or maybe an imprim or this or that in the third, but it's hard. It's hard when you have this and other stuff on the field. Telling you guys, it's rough. It could be a rough night out for any Yu-Gi-Oh player. And then we have Shadal Beast. Again, there's some cards that people probably think, oh, I probably got a rarity collection, is everywhere, and there's a bunch of holographics. But when it comes to Shadal Beast, it only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 prints ever. Only 2 of these are holographic. There's 2 rares and a common. So you have the cheap rares and the commons. That's fine. That's good. If you're on a budget, you get exposure to the card. But the holographics, they're not as cheap as people think. You do have the Astro Pack 6 super rare. I mean, technically speaking, the Ultra is the max rarity, but me personally, I like these old super rares from Astro Pack and OTS packs. They look clean. So right now, you have a couple here. You have a couple 1-ofs and the 2s, but then it quickly sneaks up at 4s and then 5s, and then it just goes to 8s and then double digits. This could be a $10 super, 14 listings only. You need to understand, guys, people play 3 of these. 3 play sets of Shadal Beast. So when you see a card like this, Rogue, with this low printings, you have the super rare little by little sneaking up on people, and you have ultras as well. You know that you see a couple 1-ofs here, but then the card keeps just going up and it gets harder to get, and then it'll be 2s. As you can see, the walls are at 2s here, and then you wake up one day and they're 5s when people realize that they need play sets. So what do you think about Shadal Beast as a card, the draw power, and seeing it played at 3s in Draco Tails?
I think the card is really good. The card is, you know, when it goes to the graveyard to draw a card, so Draco Tail is pitching it, they're drawing a card and they're fusing. So you're definitely going to play 3 of those. I can see that card being maybe the super rares doubling in price, maybe going up by 30% easily. Easy work. Especially if it starts like winning back to back or topping every regionals, like that deck's gonna get really popular real quick.
Yeah, because even me, man, I'm not a competitive player, but I see out of all the deck cores, I'm like, yeah, man, I can see me building it, especially if it comes out. People are like, oh, Vanquish okay, now who cares about Draco Tails? Hopefully they become cheap because of that, so we'll pick them up. But definitely not just the deck cores, because these haven't come out yet, guys. Obviously their new cards are coming out in August, you know, in a couple weeks, but you start picking up these pieces that no one else is looking at right now. No one else. You're not going to find a video and people like, oh man, Shadal Beast. No one's talking about this. So you come in now because you're here with Rogue Hero, you're here with me, and we're analyzing these the potential. Not that, you know, in the TCG it has to translate 100%, but just in case you come in, you pick these up, you know, you get exposure. Worst case, you know, you get rid of them at higher prices. Best case, you save yourself money because you got in early and you get to play these beautiful cards at these cheap prices. Then we have Zeroa, the Majestus of Flame from Genesis Impact. This card, I believe, is a single print as an ultra rare. You know, the card is actually double bottoming here, about to move up in price. 29 listings here. You have a play set at $6, and then after that, it quickly goes towards $10, double digits. So I came in because I saw, again, I'm like, let me pick up these cards just in case I want to play the deck. I saw 1-of, again, and then you also see this other Majestus card right here that just came out, Rogue and Battles of Legend Monster Mayhem. I told people to pick it up at $1.50 for the secret rare, and it's still cheap at around $2. I've been telling people to pick it up because, as you can see, these both are played at 1, at least in this deck profile. So again, just talking about these, this one just came out, and you have Majestus here as a single print from Genesis Impact. You know, should people be picking it up? What do you think about Majestus, adding it to Draco Tails? What's your thought process on these?
Just reading it seems like a pretty good card. So yeah, the deck runs a lot of spellcaster. I can see that definitely. Being really good in the deck.
And this is a tuner too. People are maybe not realizing that.
Tuner,
that's a level 4 tuner. So might cause some spicy plays, as you can see. I mean, they play board load. We don't have board load, but there should be other rank 8 synchros out there. So yeah, you like the Majestus engine, mini engine right there, spellcasters.
I mean, first, like, this is my first time reading the cards, so, but they seem really good. Just glancing over them right now as we skip from screen to screen. So yeah, I mean, what I do when I look at like a lot of these deck lists in the OCG, like when I see little tech cards like that, I do pick those up myself. So if I was looking into this deck, I would definitely pick those up, because like I always like picking up cool tech cards that other people might think is garbage or trash. Right. And it might be garbage and trash, and you might not like it, but at least you have it just in case you want to go back into it.
Exactly. You got exposure, and then if it goes up in price and you decide not to play it, then you move it, and you make money while you're at it. So it's a win-win situation. So again, as one-ofs, we already talked about this one when we review Battles of Legend all the time, but this one is one that people forgot about. They forgot it probably exists. The card used to be $2, $3, went all the way up to 11s, and now it's around $5, $6. If you need to get exposure to it at around 6s, don't let it go up 30-40%. Become a double-digit card. You come in early. Then we have Invoke Kalea. This is another one. Just like Winda, it's a broken card that people are sleeping on and no one's paying attention to. Only 2 prints, as you can see this here, Rogue. It's a one-of right here in the extra deck, and this card is broken. If a player's monster effect attempts to activate, none of that player's monsters can activate their effects for the rest of this turn while this card is face up on the field. Each player can attack with only 1 monster during each battle phase. So again, this is a card that locks you from playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Essentially to a certain extent. Yes, there's always outs, there's staples, imperm, drop. We understand. But if you draw and you don't see those staples, you have to face this. You get 1 monster effect activation, and then it has an 1800 defense right there. And you know what I mean? And if you have ways to protect it, it's rough, man. It's rough. So what do you think about this card? No one is looking at this, Rogue. That's why we're highlighting, this here right now. What do you think about this card? Seeing it here at 1, and if Yu-Gi-Oh! Players pretty soon have to start playing against the card.
$20 card, maybe $10 card, probably like $5 to $10. Honestly,
yeah,
card's really good. It's really
that's a good range.
Against, honestly.
Yeah.
A lot of people, when they do play these fusion decks, they go Winda and then go into him, and then it's like, oof.
Oh man.
Or going to him first, then going to Winda. It's like, oh my god.
Exactly. Look at you.
You don't have an out. Go to game 2 and 3. Like, oh my god. Like it like that.
Yeah. Literally, I can see you. You're already sweating now, bro. You're not even facing the cards yet. Yeah.
The frustration already is like, where's my hero stuff?
You see, hey, I can't blame you, bro. Yeah. You see again. You have a couple one-ofs at shekels, so people are like, it's cheap, but then it's hard to get. There's no
stuff go up overnight, man.
Hey, literally, it's only a couple one-ofs, and then it hits 2s and beyond. So 34 listings. I came in and I bought like 5 of these. I'm like, let me just get 1 for me, a couple to trade and move if the card ever becomes a thing. Because man, people are not paying attention to these cards. I'm telling you, man, people snoozing out here. And again, you do have the budget option at around quarters, probably, if you really need the card. It's also holographic, and maybe that one also goes up. At shekels, it might be 50 cents to $1 one day. You don't want to sleep on these cards. Then we have cross cheap. Card is $1.80. Not bad. You have 15 here. It quickly goes up into the 2s. So if you need this one-of, as you can see here, right there, it's a one-of. You make sure you come in early. No need to sleep on this one. Again, not too much to say. The card is good. It's played. Get exposure at $1.80. Not there's Walls of China, so it's readily available. Get your exposure now. And then we do have Artemis, the Majestus Moon, which is a Majestus card. And then you have Selene, Queen of the Master Magicians. Like Rogue said and made an amazing point, that not just only these links are spellcasters, but there's a lot of spellcasters being played, and Shadal Beast is a spellcaster. I just realized that now as well. So Rogue made an amazing point. Is Winda spellcast? That's crazy. These cards come out and we just know them like Winda, broken, but I don't pay attention if it's a spellcaster or not. And that's crazy. Like the synchrony of these cards, actually all of these being spellcasters is wow to me. This is Beast at least, but you guys get the gist of it. And again, so these links, people are not paying attention to these. They have their quarter century secret rares here, Rogue, as you can see, at 1146s for Majestus Moon, and you have Selene Queen pushing 11s as well. So I could see these both becoming 20-piece McNuggies each for Mickey D's. Yeah, so right, Rogue, let's hear it, man. Seeing these spellcaster links that no one's paying attention to, do you think people should be picking it up right now?
Yeah, of course. If you're gonna play this deck, pick it up. If you're a backpack vendor, pick it up. It's cheap. Goes for 10. You probably pick it up at 7. You know, you guys got those vendor prices.
Yeah, that easy work, huh?
I know how it goes. I'm not a vendor, but I've dabbled back in my youth, so I know how it goes.
Right, for sure. Yeah,
So,
getting those good prices. Yep. Yeah. And then competitively speaking, if the deck does well, you can see those 2 Link monsters, one there, those 1-ofs. And do remember, these came in the Rarity Collection Uno, so they do have the full Rarity Collection treatment. Like if you want one of the other Prismatics or the Platinum Secret Rares, those are super cheap. You have budget options. But if you want the higher rarity, the max rarity, $10-11 is not bad for a card that could 2x on you, and you don't want to find yourself paying a premium. And then a Duelist Advanced card. Secretarion Dragon just came out. Rogue, this came out in that set that is crashing down. It's around 2s and some change. You do see 2,000 copies being sold in a 48-hour time frame. Oof. That's crazy. 64 listings here. You do see
walls. That wasn't you, was it, man?
Nah, chill. We're not a whale like that, man. We don't move that kind of money, especially in one card like this. Loved it. But yeah, this is 235s right here. I mean, you see this big wall of China in the sense of volume here, and you see it right here being played as a 1-of right there as well. So when you see cards that you need right there, people are coming in. What do you think? Should be people, right? Like you said earlier, this is cheap, right? People should be picking this one up, and it just came out as well.
$5, man.
Okay,
that's a steal, bro.
Yeah, right.
Like, why would you not pick it up? It's a good have. If you're building the deck, pick it up. If you're a backpack vendor, pick it up. It goes for 2, pick it up for 1. Throw into your trade.
And then when it's 5s, you get rid of it, man, and you'll be eating good, man, eating good food. Off this card.
Go get you a nice little bubble. Go get your little bubble tea after you get your little $5 profit. You good, man.
Let's go. Hey, if you had multiples, you might grab a steak. You know what I mean? So that's the name of the game, and that's just the way that it goes. And recently, new synchro support or cards were announced. You know, with the Power of Fellows structure deck. Here, so we have Junk Warrior Extreme, we have Full Speed Warrior. I like the artwork of this one. That looks pretty cool.
The artworks are pretty cool.
That looks nice. You have Anchor Bolt Hedgehog, and then you have Synchro Fellows. I really like this artwork as well. It looks really nice. I think this is the 1-for-1 alternate art Little Birdie, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool how they're doing this with this new support. I mean, what do you think, Rogue? Are you a big synchro player? You like synchro decks, synchro monsters? Are you excited for the structure deck? Not really. Like, what is your thought process on this new, these new cards, synchro support?
I'm not the biggest synchro fanatic because I didn't really watch 5Ds like that. Okay. My boy Fatal Mind, shout out to him. He had a YouTube channel. My boy David from Locals, Fatal Mind.
Okay.
He's a big synchro fanatic. He has a lot of his profiles are pretty good on my channel. And yeah, I'm really interested to see like how a lot of the synchro community, like him and a lot of other guys, they check it out because it's a real good deck. Honestly, it's very scary. Like Synchrons right now, they can spam the board with Omni Negates and have tons of setups. So if they get to play, they're cooking you 100%. Like even last format, I literally watched my homeboy demolish all the meta decks with a Synchron deck when he got to play. Of course, it's a rogue deck, so you go on second. You ain't really gonna break those meta boards like that all the time. But like I've seen, like I said, top 8 regionals, undefeated locals more times. I've seen it, so
that's
the deck's
crazy.
Good. The new support cards seem to be really good as well, so I'm happy for the archetype, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, there's people here like Synchron Player here. These new cards don't help nothing. Absolute trash. This creates another variant. Okay. Extreme.
Never mind.
Yeah, it's like trash right there. No, I mean, we don't know. We're just talking, as an overview. But you have seen, your locals boy, put in the work, and there's avid Synchro players out there. But regardless, even off hype,
they're like hero players, honestly. They're just the white version of hero players.
Exactly. They don't care. They just want to play the decks they love, even if they're not that great. But hype and speculation, it doesn't matter how good or bad the deck is going to be. Synchro players don't care. They see a Junk Synchron quarter century secret rare from Bonanza, and they're like, the card used to be 16s, good for the card. It used to be 25s, good for the card. Right now it's a 40 piece getting bought out as we speak here. 5 listings only, 1 page. We were telling people to buy this card when it was nothing, when it was single digits down here. No one cared about it. We're like, it's Junk Synchron, people playing in past formats, and now new support This card has gone parabolic, you know, a 40 piece right here. And then I'm gonna ask you about this one, Rogue. I see the Platinum Secret as well. It's 3 bones for a card that used to be shekels, trash, no one cared about it. Look at that, 88 cents turning into 3s. And after a couple one-ofs, look at that, 8 bones for Platinum Secret rares that were shekels, almost a 10x return right here. But people say you can't make money in Yu-Gi-Oh! I have like 6 of these laying around, and your boy's gonna eat good at Nats. You know, I'm gonna come up to you and show you my 6 and be like, Rogue, I'm gonna eat right now. You want a steak? No.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah. So again,
let's go.
Oh, he ready. So again, what do you think to see these crazy moves due to the Synchron support for Junk Synchron right here for both of these versions from Bonanza?
That's honestly, I think the Synchro community is just like, they're just as hype as the Hero community because it's an anime deck. Goes back to your point, like Konami makes these anime decks good, people would buy it. People would, sets hold value. Like look at this, $40 for a card that's not even relevant right now.
Yeah, literally right now is nothing.
You know what a lot of dudes do with $40? They go buy, they go to the Figueroa Road in California. They go buy them some cooch for $40, man. So like, if people are really buying this at 40, it must be good. If they're buying it over, you know what?
Yeah, okay, that's true. No. But I feel
serious
you.
Note,
priorities,
priorities, man. Like, honestly, like if you got the money for the highest rarity, pick it up.
Right.
If not, the other one's like $5. It's a good deal.
Yeah, look at that. 3s now.
They got it cheap.
Yeah. When we were talking about, look back, because now you know it is what it is, right? But back in December and Christmas, over 6 months ago, no one was looking at these cards. They were trash. They were shekels. No one cared. And we made dedicated platinum rare market watch, platinum secret rare market watches, highlighting the opportunity and the potential of these. And now we get to eat, not because we knew that there was going to be a new synchro support deck down the line, but just because these cards are iconic. They're played even in past formats. So now, you know, this is easy money. And you have Rev Synchron, which is actually a more modern Synchron card. You know, this card has only 3 prints. It had a reprint in the tins. So right now I wanted to highlight, you know, just pull them up here real quick. So you do have the OGs. Some Yu-Gi-Oh players prefer the OGs. And you can see these OG secret rares used to be 5s. Now they're 750s, which is still cheap considering the potential of this card in that new Synchron deck. So I can see this one being double digits. You do have a cheaper version, which is right here at around $5, which is the Prismatic Secret. I really like this one. It looks clean. You have a couple one-ofs, and then the walls are at 5s. Then you have the quarter century secret rare from a core set rogue here at around a 40 piece. I think this is cheap compared to future potential prices. So what do you think about Rev Synchron? And is it a card, you know, that you've played against maybe, or your boy plays it as a machine tuner, broken effect? So what do you think about this card?
I ain't gonna lie, when I play against this deck, I kind of like zone out. Like if I don't hand trap this one monster that summons 5 from the deck, I'm cooked. So I think they play this card. I'm not even gonna lie to you. This deck,
right.
The deck it plays like my homeboy plays it really good. So it's like it plays so many different cards and there's so many different variants of it. It's almost like playing against heroes, where it's like if you know heroes, for the hero players in the chat that may be listening, right? You can either be playing pure heroes, Destiny heroes, OTK heroes,
Evo heroes, like
exactly. So many. It depends on what version you're playing.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
If it's $40, I'm assuming it's competitive. So I don't think it would be $40 if it wasn't competitive. I don't think it has that anime-esque. Because I'm pretty sure I watched a little bit of 5Ds. Okay. It's not like a main character, main card.
Right.
They usually like the main card with like Stardust Dragon for 5Ds. But I think it's a really good card. It looks familiar, honestly. Yeah. So I'm gonna say it's a good card. Pick it up. Yeah,
and only with 3 prints right here. You know, it's not like as readily available because it came in the tins, and in 1 to 2 months, tins are a year old already. So this card is gonna be a year old pretty soon. They're not as easy to get as you would think. So if you won't feel like speculating, not bad. I came in and bought a playset at 5s of the OG secret rares because I believe in the fact that it could easily be double digits, and we're gonna eat good once we get rid of these. Get rid of these for. I'll find some Synchro Billy Bobs, and I'll give it to them at double digits, and they'll be happy campers. And then lastly, we have Art Mages Rogue. I wanted your thought process because I mean, if people stayed an hour in, they deserve these nuggets of information. There's a lot of hype around Art Mages, not because they've done anything. I mean, they just came out. A lot of people are hyped. They're thinking about, this deck at Nats or maybe post Nats. And, what I saw from the deck was that I was surprised. Usually when a new deck core comes out, they don't receive these many cards, all in one core set. Usually when a core set comes out, like with Mitsubuti, they got like one ritual and maybe the spell and maybe 2 or 3 cards here and there. But this one got like, look at that. Like there's what?
It's like they're saying play this deck.
Exactly. So I'm seeing this like as a sign, like, okay, we gave a big wave of new support, I guess, because the deck is new, right? And then they might, double down in Doom of Dimensions or whatever the next core set is. So what do you think about art mages? Not necessarily maybe meta relevant wise, because they just came out, but as maybe the artwork, the deck core, the cards, the prices, like I think people should be picking these up. Some of these have rebounded like crazy. Look at this artwork, looks fire. I will not lie. So what do you think about art mages right now?
Honestly, I think if you're looking to pick up a unique spellcaster type deck, pick it up. It seems really good. I don't know exactly everything they do, and I finna sit around a lot of people. Right. However, with that being said, the set it comes in is $40, so just buy the set, just buy boxes. I think these are gonna be the bulk you pull out of the boxes anyway.
That's a good point. $40 box. It just sounds like it doesn't sound real.
Do you want to get the $1 card for a deck that's kind of mid, or do you want to take $100 off your paycheck, add like 2 boxes for the new set, maybe 3 boxes, and they cut you a deal?
Yeah, right.
And you might pull half the stuff anyway. I mean, you might even get a quarter century. So, but all jokes aside, if you already bought boxes, I think if you're a competitive player, put it to the side. You probably can pick up off of it or build up off of it. I say honestly, like, I don't know exactly what the deck do, but if someone can cook a good list for nationals, I wouldn't be surprised if it wins because it's new and no one knows what it does. So it's one of them decks that if they know what they're doing and it's good, if it has potential, you get caught with your pants down, you lose.
Literally, it's new and a lot of people saying the deck works really well. They might be combining this with other decks as well.
I know Jeff Jones kind of looked at the deck on Twitter. Okay. So
interesting. All right. So
I think, he sees the potential in it, but I know he's on Malice right now. So
Right. Yeah, that means that people might be cooking some things, especially post Nats or maybe at Nats. We'll see. But our mages look pretty nice. Definitely a deck core to consider. And honestly, we usually say go for singles. But if you can get boxes at 40s, man, and start pulling a couple of these, you might, test your luck. Maybe buy a box or 2. Not bad at all, and see where it goes from there. So, yeah, we're going to close it out on that note. Another hour of just greatness here with Rogue Hero, guys. Again, first link in the description down below. You want to make sure you subscribe. I mean, if you made it an hour in, you need to subscribe at this point. There's no, if
please subscribe if I can feed my small children.
There you go.
Please subscribe if I can feed my homeless child.
Let's go. We got to help him, man. Make sure you subscribe, guys, and like the video. Make sure you tune into his latest videos. They've been fire. You guys want to make sure you check it out. And yeah, make sure you like the video. Share this in one place or in the group chat. Really does go a long way. Make sure you subscribe. Ring that bell, guys. And again, much love to each and every single one of you guys. And then any last thoughts before we get out of here, Mr. Rogue Hero?
Nothing, man. Just appreciate you having me on again. And this is always great as always. I just want to say this, man. When you guys invest in cards early, you save money. When you wait, you lose money. I'm gonna give you a little tidbit. I got my Rizo deck for pretty cheap, mainly because I had a lot of stuff I sold off, and I picked up everything when it was low. Then it doubled in price. I was good. I didn't have to pay for the premium.
Yeah.
And now it went down because the deck's kind of favoring out of popularity and everyone has it. However, I was able to get it at a pretty good deal for like maybe if you would factor in actual cash, maybe $200, give or take.
Okay.
For a meta deck. So
yeah,
there's ways you can get meta decks at a good rate. You got to do a little research, watch videos like we're doing now, and also study the OCG and just pick up things you guys see.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we did today. We're showing the cards at these current prices so people don't end up picking it up at premium. So Rogue made excellent points. And then even if the deck goes down in price and you kept playing it, you got an extreme amount of value out of it. Because, you've been going to locals and competing at YCSs and regionals and all that. So, your $200 went a long way. So that definitely was a great move. So great tidbits of information if you stayed all the way till the end. Again, it's always a pleasure. And I look forward to, chit-chatting with Rogue Hero. We're going to be at Nats. So we're definitely going to have fun out there. And I definitely look forward to that. So with that said, guys, I just want to thank you so much for your time, for your support, and for your attention. Stay fresh. Yes, sir.